Welcome back to Where Lions Walk, an emotional day at the New Den against Watford. Lots to talk about, lots to review, and of course, a trip to Bristol City to preview as well. Welcome to Where Lions Walk on the Terrace Talk Network.
No one likes us! No one likes us! No one likes us! We don't care! We are Millwall! Super Millwall! We are Millwall from the Den!
Welcome back, Callum. Welcome back, Ben, to Where Lions Walk. Lots to discuss, so we're going to get straight into it. First of all, Callum, emotional day on Saturday against Watford. First of all, credit to the club, credit to Millwall and Watford fans, of course, for a sensational and glowing tribute to Marta Sarzik. You were there. How was it? Very
emotional. Got to give credit to every single person at the club. Very beautiful ceremony. Give credit to the Watford fans as well, like you said. I mean, that banner that they put up in the top of the stand, just give massive credit to them. Very surprised when I saw it, but you've got to give them massive credit. And yeah, such a beautiful ceremony. The family were there. Obviously, when they started singing his name in the stands as well, give me goosebumps. Had a little tear in my eye as well, but yeah, nice. It's really nice to see, really. Yeah, fitting, ceremony for such a great keeper and a really nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the mural looked great, and they've retired the 20 shirt as well, haven't they? So, yeah, well done, Millwall. Onto footballing matters then, Ben. Harris actually said the first 20 minutes actually felt that the emotion of what you just described affected the players, and actually didn't start the game too well. Did you agree with what he said on certainly the first 25 minutes?
Yeah, I thought we started so slow, like we'd never played together before. Passes weren't finding their teammates, just hoofing it along every time. We definitely didn't start the game well at all.
Yeah. Certainly was the game of the day to watch, wasn't it? In terms of goals, I'm not sure in terms of defending for either team. It was one you can say too much on. Callum, just in terms of the positives, though, second half you came out and actually, got right back into it, and you'd have thought when it was 2-2 and still with I think 10 minutes of normal time to go plus another 7 because of the long injury, you'd actually thought you were going to go on and win it. But what went wrong in that last 10 minutes or so? Were they too gung-ho?
I don't think so. I think it was, from what I saw when I watched it, I think it was two very poor sides. I think Watford were just more clinical than us on the day. I think, there was a bit of a question whether Ravic was offside on the last goal. I did see a thing on Twitter showing a picture of him slightly being offside, but it's football, isn't it? So these things can happen. I thought he played very well in the second half. Imaku changed the game for me when he came on. I think it was like the 60th minute he came on. He changed the game for me. Just give us that a bit more of a threat going forward. But I think the main thing for me to take away from yesterday was just the first half was very poor, like just so slow, so like sluggish a little bit. I think Watford had a bit more athleticism and a bit more pace and power up front. We just looked very tired and we didn't have really a lot to offer in the first half. We kept on lumping the ball up to Bradshaw quite a lot. And that was not working. We weren't getting the second balls. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think the second half we changed it. We played more passes, got it down on the wings, overloaded the wings. And obviously Watmore scored 2 goals and I thought we was going to win it at the end. But you know what, football is meant to be. Obviously Watford won and scored a late winner. So it is what it is.
Yeah, Ben, what was your take on what went wrong? Thanks, Colin.
The third goal for Watford was so lucky. Just deflected, literally landed on his head. Couldn't really miss. We committed more towards the end, which we obviously had to do. And there was a sense of we're going to turn this around completely and get the win. So I think probably slightly switched off at the back and allowed them the shot from the edge of the box, which got deflected, and then the rest is history. A poor goal to concede.
Yeah, we'll talk about goalkeeper in a second. How did the new boys do for you though, Ben? Any on display that caught the eye? Anybody impressed?
So Langstaff looked lively, had a few touches. He dropped slightly deeper to link up a little bit. So he was the only outfield player that was new. And then Jensen in goal. Well,
we'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah,
because we've got a few tweets to show you about that. Obviously, it's not probably the day to start slagging off goalkeepers, but there's obviously quite a torrent on Twitter, as I'm sure you've seen. And what about Neil Harris himself then, Callum? What about substitutions and in-game management? Something which at times people have criticised him for, but did he get it spot on yesterday?
No, not for me. I think he does it quite a lot, to be honest. I think at half time I was expecting him to make the substitutions he made in the 60th minute. So bring on Imaku, bring on Langstaff, just to get a bit more freshness up top. He didn't. He waited till they scored the free kick in the second half, and then he changed it after. And he does that he done that last season. He does that quite a lot, to be fair. So no, I don't really agree with what he did yesterday. I find it quite poor that he doesn't make it earlier. Quite frustrating, really, overall, to be honest.
Right, okay. We'll park this game now. It's the opening game of the season. We can't get too down, can we, Ben? It is only the opening day. Were there glimmers of hope? Or were there glimmers of the game, Ben, that you saw that kind of made you think, actually, we'll be all right this season?
Definitely the second half. And the second half of the second half, we were growing into it. We passing the ball better, keeping the ball higher up the pitch, like runners in behind, which we didn't see any in the game before then. So it definitely improved, but then that was mostly due to Maku coming on and actually having some width and some pace.
Okay. Right. Well, the next game is one of your favourite grounds then, Ashton Gate, where you've got an incredibly great away record. Away record. Time to bring in your next opponent, which of course is Bristol City. Welcome, Liam, from where the Robins walk. Back at home, back at Ashton Gate, but against an opponent which you've not fared too well against. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I guess so. There's always a time to put things right, I guess. And what better with the second game and our first home game of the season?
Just tell the Millwall fans how you've done in your first game. Obviously, it was a 1-1 draw against Hull. Are you looking good? Is this a different Bristol City side to what we've seen before?
I think first 10 minutes we were probably conceding too much possession in key areas for the opposition. Possibly could have been 2-0 down with one for O'Leary in goal. After that, I think we had the better of the rest of the first half. Seemed to press quite well up front. A lot of turnovers in dangerous areas. Obviously, that's where our goal came from late in the second half. No, I think it'll be a good game. Seeing the highlights from you guys' game with Watford yesterday, I can see possibly the high press working quite well, especially at home with the crowd behind. Hopefully, it'll be a good turnout. So we'll get behind the boys and hopefully 3 points stay at Bristol.
Yeah, Callum, what does he need to change in terms of the starting 11 then for this first away game of the season?
I'll start Maku, and I would like to see him start with Bradshaw and Langstaff up top instead of a 10. We started with Honeyman sitting behind Bradshaw on Saturday. I do believe that. I think 2 up front has worked for us in the past. Would like to see it again next weekend. And obviously, we'll have to speak about the keeper, but I'm not really too sure at the moment about the keeper. But I think he probably will start Jensen. But yeah, other than Maku and probably Langstaff, I'll probably keep it the same.
Okay. Let's get some score predictions then. Ben, you go first.
I'm going to go 1-0 win for us.
Okay. Liam?
I'm going to stay with the 2-0 that I predicted earlier. 2-0 home win.
You never beat
Sorry,
Millwall
guys.
at home, though. It's just
Like I
your
said, there's always
bogey
a
team,
first
aren't
team.
What is it about Millwall? Why have they got such a decent record at Ashton Gate?
I don't know. Looking at our home record last season wasn't great in my eyes. I was actually there. It was New Year's Day we played you guys last year, wasn't it? At Ashton Gate. It was diabolical. We were really poor. I don't know. I can't really put a finger on it. I think they're renowned for being quite a physical team. We haven't got the biggest team in the world. Maybe we've had a little bit of height this season with a couple of signings, but yeah, I think it's the physicality that we struggle with in key areas of the pitch. Fingers crossed, it's that's a thing of the past. But I suppose there's only one way to find out.
All right, thank you very much, Liam. Enjoy the game.
Right.
We'll catch up with you, I'm sure, as the season progresses. Cheers
Thank
for
you
that.
very much.
And for the rest of you, here's some takes on the game against Watford. Okay. So there's we'll just get straight to it. SA can't play on the wing. Honeyman and Jensen were awful. Amaku needs to start. I think all of you have just said those things. What about this one, Ben? Look much better in 4-4-2. Maybe stick with that, but then again, can't play with Fleming in the 10. In general, though, shocking performance, and we are relegation certainties unless some players come in. We conceded 3 to a very poor side. Could have been 10 against a better side. Would you agree with that?
I mean, relegation certainty, I think, is slightly harsh. I think Tanganga being back in the team would make a huge difference. And Fleming playing also makes a massive difference. I wouldn't say we're certainties for relegation. However, we definitely need more signings. The squad's far too small. There's lots of areas that need plugging.
Callum, what about the 4-4-2 bit of this? Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I mean, as I just said before when we were chatting, obviously I'd stick Langstaff and Bradshaw up top. I think I want him to try it maybe in the cup game on Tuesday, and then maybe if it works, then do it against Bristol City on next Saturday. But I would start with them two up top just to see how it goes without having a 10. Obviously, while Fleming's out with a calf injury, I think we just need to shake it up and just put two strikers up front, see how it goes.
We'll talk about goalkeepers now. Each week we are going to review where the club is at in terms of different positions. Next week we'll do central defenders. But yes, this one, get Jensen as far away from the starting lineup as possible. Where do you see your options and depth in this area? I mean, first of all, his performance, Callum, was poor, wasn't it? To be fair, against Watford. Do you first of all agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I think he had a shocker yesterday. I think it might have been the occasion that got to him. But I think, like obviously God rest his soul, I think Matej Sarkic, when he first came in, he had a few bad games to start with. So obviously if we're going to be positive, which we will be, I think he will prove himself. It's only his first game, obviously first league debut, but he's played obviously a few friendlies before. But it's his first game, so I think he'll get playing more often. I think he'll be fine.
Okay, Ben, what about the depth of the goalkeepers on the bench that you've got? Are you okay in this area now?
I think so. We needed two new competent keepers because Conor Truman's never played a game for us. So we needed two people to come in, and two decent keepers from League One last year. It made sense bringing them both in. I'm happy with the depth that we have.
Okay. All right, then central defenders then next week. Get your thinking caps on for that and your beliefs on that one. Just some last minute questions to finish off with then. The Carabao Cup, as you already mentioned, returns this week. Millwall away at Pompey. Much do we care about this competition? Would you sooner beat Pompey or Bristol City, Callum?
I'd prefer to win the league rather than the cup. I don't really care about the cup, to be honest. I'd rather focus on the league.
But having said that, Ben, if I offered you a Carabao Cup win that give you the trophy now, you can even beat West Ham in the final, 4-2. Would you sooner still be promoted than that? How much does this cup not? How much is this cup not valued? I'm trying to get a gauge on it.
I'd always choose the league over the cup. Always, no matter the route to the final.
You would sooner be promoted than beat West Ham and be in Europe and have a trophy.
Definitely. Premier League all day long.
What about you, Callum?
Yeah, I'd be promoted to the Premier League rather than winning the EFL Cup. 100%.
Okay, all right. Fair enough then. Listen, thank you for sharing, obviously, your views this week. It's been a really emotional week, but one thing that will come out of it all is that regardless of Millwall's reputation for whatever, they do things well. So well done, Millwall. Well done, Millwall, for that. Enjoy your trip to Bristol City. We will see you on the other side of that next week, and you're on the road again after that as you trek all the way to Hull the week after. So we'll preview the whole game with you next week as well as talk about Central Defenders. Thank you, Callum. Thank you, Ben. And yeah, have a good weekend. Thank you very much for watching Where Lions Walk. Please subscribe. Please drop us a like. We're here all season reviewing Millwall content. Thank you very much.